Hey everyone, this is Peyton Anderson with Next Level Athletes. I'm thrilled to have Joshua Pryor on the podcast today. This past season was a dominant one for Joshua, racking up 72 tackles with 20 and a half tackles for loss, along with 6 sacks and more. And additionally, he's received CIAA preseason honors for his upcoming season. Joshua, first of all, thanks so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me. I
Of
appreciate it.
course. And let's start off with your recruitment process coming out of high school. What was your biggest takeaway from the process as a whole, but more importantly, what led you to Bowie State?
Going through the process for me, I wasn't really that highly recruited out of high school. I had about like 3 offers coming out. So the biggest thing was for me was I was having people around me that's been through it. They were just telling me, no matter where you go, the talent, if you're talented, they're gonna find you no matter what. So I just kept that in the back of my mind, and I just wanted to go somewhere where I felt like they cared about me, more than just being a football player. At the end of the day, I know it's a business, but at the same time, I want them to be able to help me while I'm there helping them. You know what I'm saying? And for me, Bowie State just felt like the perfect fit. They really had this family feel. When I went and did my visits, the coaches just made me feel like they really cared about me. And after I did my visit, they actually did a home visit, and it just them taking an extra step, really trying to secure that, really just made me feel comfortable with that choice of going to Bowie State.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking back on your high school career. What would you say you miss most about high school in general, but also your all-time favorite memory?
Yeah, so for me, high school, football was always a big part, but the biggest thing for me was I was able to go to high school for the first time with like one of my long best friends. I've known him since I was 2, and we grew up because our dads were coaches at the same little league team. So we just knew each other from there, but never really went to school together until high school. So for me, that was just a cool experience.
Mm-hmm. And going back to your first time on campus, starting to familiarize yourself with the program, what was the mindset and focus coming in? But also reflect back in your redshirt season and what you'd say you learned most from that decision.
Coming into college, my mindset was just try to, master one thing at a time. Going into each practice, I would just choose one particular part of my game and just work on that. If that's just coming off the ball faster one practice, and the next practice working on my hand placement, and then the next practice making sure I stay on my feet, and just, picking up little things every day and just trying to get better. And then, to build on my game to where it is today.
Mm-hmm. And looking back on this past season in particular, what do you feel went well? What you improved on most? But also, was there anything that you might have underperformed into your liking in general?
Yeah, so with this past season, it was my first time playing defensive end. All throughout the season, I usually start on the interior at 3 tech, but last season it was my first time, having that full time edge experience. So it was definitely I was able to, pick up just more of a overall game as far as the D line being able to move around more, and having more experience at the defensive end position as well. So I was able to pick up, little small edge rush things and just being able to work in space more and just have a different feel for the game.
Mm-hmm. And while on the subject, what's been your focus in your mindset and training this current off season heading into next season?
Yeah, so this focus for me has been, putting on my weight. Last season, I was around, 230. So I was just focusing this off season on building my strength, putting on my weight, and, trying to get back to, that 260 frame that I'm used to playing with.
Mm-hmm. And when talking about recruitment, NIL deals, social media, and everything else can be a lot to handle. But for you personally, taking your recruitment process into consideration, what advice do you have to athletes wanting to take that next step to college and whatever sport that is, but also how they can get their name out and have themselves be recognized while maintaining that focus on whatever end goal they have in mind?
Yeah, so at the end of the day, I would say it's all about you, at this stage, we have social media and it's a big platform for us. So we're able to, get our content out there, whether that's just posting, your regular pictures, or, you can do videos about different things that's going on in your life, being a football player. But, as far as the recruitment process, like the biggest thing I would say is, don't worry about all the outside noise. Choose a school that you feel comfortable with and you feel a connection with, because at the end of the day, it's a big commitment that you're going to be going to the school for the next 4 years of your life.
Mm-hmm. And I'm transitioning over to life off the field. What's a typical day look like for you during the season and the off season?
Yeah, so during the season, I usually have classes in the morning time, and then at 2 o'clock, that's my cutoff for class, and then I would start getting ready, get my mind right for practice. We start warming up at 3:45. Practice start at 4, and we're usually done by like 6:30. And then we have meetings, and then after that is recovery time, trying to get a meal in or something, watch some film, and getting ready for the next day. And during my off season, this off season I was doing 2-a-days, so I would wake up in the morning, have my breakfast, go to a workout, come back, have another meal, recovery time, and then have my team workout later on. And then after that, I just have the rest of the day for recovery, getting my meals in. Because at the end of the day, I was trying to build bulk this off season. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And additionally, let's talk about your major. What's it about? Class you've been taking for it, but more importantly, why you chose it.
Okay, so yeah. At first, when I came into college, my major was computer technology, but I ended up switching it to communications because I ended up feeling like I didn't see myself, really taking that computer technology major far. But with my football career, I can see that tying in well with communications, doing interviews like this, just being able to represent myself and speak fluent, stuff of that nature.
Mm-hmm. And I'm looking more into life off the field for you again. How would you describe the kind of person you are when you're off the field and in general outside of football?
Off the field, I feel like I'm a to myself type of person. I enjoy the smaller things in life, like just being outdoors in nature and just quality time and being able to relax and stuff like that. I like to go fishing and spend time with my family and my dad and stuff like that. So I don't really do too much wild things, but I just like to do more relaxful type of things.
Mm-hmm. And when looking into Bowie State and their program, what do you feel they pride themselves most on? But additionally, how would you describe the program in its entirety with one word or a sentence?
I feel like Bowie State prides itself most on, building, continuing to grow each and every year, moving forward. We're not going to skip any beat, regardless of all the noise and what's ever going on in the off season. It's still going to be Bowie State football. And one phrase I would say that describes Bowie is tradition never graduates. Because at the end of it, no matter who leaves, who stays, it's still going to be Bowie State football.
Mm-hmm. And on top of this, what would you say has been your go-to spot on campus, whether that be facilities or elsewhere?
Yeah, so my go-to spot recently has been the gym or the dancing studio upstairs, because I like to use that place for some yoga, just a quiet place. And we have a lot of like food spots around campus that I'm used to at this point, but I'm happy that we have them. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. And while on the subject, Bowie State football has been picked for the fourth consecutive year to be the preseason favorite to win the CIAA on Media Day. For you personally, what do you feel makes this program and team so special and deserving of this kind of recognitions by the league's head coaches and sports information directors?
Get all the recognition from all the people in the conference, but I feel like at the end of the day, we've earned it at this point. Being 3 years back in consecutive champions. We've shown that regardless of what I was saying before, regardless of the transfers or the graduates, we're still gonna play our brand of football, and we're not taking steps back, we're taking steps forward. And our next goal is to bring home a national championship.
Mm-hmm. And in other news, you were recently named to the East-West Shrine Bowl 1000. What does this mean to you? But also expand on why you feel you deserve this kind of recognition.
Yeah, it's definitely a blessing. Coming into college, my main goal was to just do what I can to, make it to the next level and get that recognition. So, this is showing me that the stuff that I've been doing throughout the years has definitely paid off. And I just got to keep working and keep taking steps in the right direction. And I should get there.
Mm-hmm. And additionally, in terms of on the field, what are you most excited about with this group of guys heading into next season?
I just feel like this group of guys, at the end of the day, we're playing with a chip on our shoulder this year. It's a lot of talk throughout this offseason about, is Bowie State going to be the same? And I feel like everyone that's going to be in that locker room is going to be ready to prove it come Saturday. So, it's just going to be a good feeling to go to war with the guys that I got,
Mm-hmm. And while on the topic, when looking at the next level, like the NFL, if you're asked by a scout or coach what you're capable of, what you can add to a roster, but also why they should look into you specifically, how would you respond to that?
I'm a cerebral player that knows the game of football. I'm also an athlete that can, do anything that you ask of me. I'm just trying to put the team in the best position to win. I can stop the run. I can rush the passer. I can, give you multiple different type of looks in your defensive scheme. So I will be a valuable asset to any type of team.
Mm-hmm. And when thinking of the people that mean the most to you in your life growing up, who would this person or these people be for you specifically? But also if they're to be listening, what would you have to share with them? And also seeing that you were growing up with a couple siblings, what has that been like growing up, and what have you learned most from them, and vice versa?
Okay, so yeah, the person I looked up to the most, and I do, is my father. I was raised in a single parent house just by my father, and my younger age, I was with my younger brother and my older brother, and it was just us boys in the house, and we was just figuring out life and stuff like that, and so we was able to just have each other's backs and be there for each other whenever we needed it. And as I grew older, my older brother moved out, and I was able to, be the older brother for my younger brother, and I was able to, be that leader and role model that, I knew to be because of my dad and my brother that I had in my life already.
Mm-hmm. And when your collegiate career eventually comes to an end, how do you want to be remembered most for during your time with Bowie State?
I want to be remembered as someone that was here through the foundation of this program winning this starting this championship run, staying here and trying to build. At the end of the day, once I'm gone, I still want to be able to give back to Bowie State and give back to the program, and just help it continue to grow, because I've seen how much the program has grown so far since I've been here, and I fell in love with watching it grow.
Mm-hmm. And additionally, what kind of legacy and career do you want to leave behind college football as a whole?
Um, I want to be known as, an unstoppable force, someone that, that came in as a freshman and dominated until his last game as a senior. Whether that's, playing interior, playing a DN, but he was a foundational piece for his team, and, played a big part in, what's been Bowie State football.
Of course. Once again, Joshua Pryor, Bowie State defensive lineman. Joshua, thanks for taking the time today, and I wish you nothing but the best with your future ahead, man.
All right, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.